Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing an Unexplained Phenomena video on this is on the Montauk Mysteries. I'm doing a series. This is part 3. I did parts 1 and 2 of this series, the introduction and then part 2. And then I realized I had omitted some of the foundation of this story. This will be relevant for part 4, as you will see. Camp Hero was home to an umbrella project called the Montauk Project, which encapsulated a number of other projects, including the Manhattan Project, which researched atomic weaponry, Project Paperclip, which brought Nazi scientists to America after World War II, Project MK Ultra, which researched mind control, Project Phoenix, which researched weather manipulation and other electromagnetic projects, mind-affecting electromagnetics. Project Rainbow, which was also known as the Philadelphia Experiment, researched electromagnetic invisibility and stealth and time travel. Now, as I understand it, the time travel aspect of that was kind of accidental, but it showed them what they could do, and so they began researching that as well. Project Stargate, which researched researched psychics, remote viewing, and communicating with extraterrestrial intelligence, aliens. And finally, Project Mannequin, which researched the possibility of contacting other dimensions. Now, there was a lot of other projects that was lumped in there as well, but these are the only ones we know for sure were there, and these are the ones that we know existed because of released documentation. Okay? These are the projects that we know were real and have documentation released by the CIA and other government agencies. Much of this seems far-fetched, and to be honest, very few of the stories coming out of the Montauk Project can be verified. However, here's what we know. Locals reported a lot of strange events that occurred multiple times in and around the town of Montauk on Long Island during the time the Montauk Project was going on. These included extremely strange weather phenomena, which would occur out of the blue and completely outside the weather forecast. For example, snow in mid-August, hurricane-force winds, thunderstorms and electrical storms, things like that. Animals would behave in very strange ways. Herds of wild animals would come into town and stand around seemingly unafraid. Flocks of birds would crash into windows and rooftops. Healthy pets would stop in mid-stride and just drop dead. It was crazy. Locals would report bad dreams of all sorts that were outside their usual scope. They had no explanation for it, many of them dealing with aliens or monsters. Local law enforcement would report uncharacteristic crime sprees that would happen inexplicably during 2-hour periods. They would stop and then start up again for another 2 hours. Vehicles and other objects would go missing for 2-hour periods and then reappear in the same spots. There was nobody witnessing the vehicle vanishing and then reappearing, but people noticed they were gone, and then 2 hours later they were back. It was crazy. Groups of teenagers would all walk to a specific point and stand around for 2-hour periods. Then they would all simultaneously become confused as to why they were there, as though they'd come out of a daze, not knowing why they had gathered. Many locals reported unexplainable and unexplained mood swings. Locals would report pairs of strange men in black suits and hats walking the streets and watching them. Clocks would stop for 2-hour periods on seemingly random days. Locals would report hearing strange disembodied voices speaking languages that they could not identify. It's one thing, like in a haunting, you hear voices. People report voices in a haunted house where they can hear a voice and they can hear it saying something, but it sounds like English and they can't make it out. It sounds like some other language that they can't make out what they're saying, or voices where they actually hear them, electronic voice phenomena, things like that. where they can hear the voices and they understand what they're saying. There's just nobody there to say it. That kind of thing. This was different. These are speaking languages that nobody could identify. Locals reported seeing strange creatures, 8-foot-tall bipeds with thin muscular bodies and tentacles on their faces, running around the streets at night and through the woods. Now, all of that seems pretty strange, but perhaps one of the most disturbing reports is the one which several locals swear happened, but which no records exist to verify. If you try to look this up, you won't find it anywhere. These locals were riding around one night when they spotted a yellow school bus by the side of the road. About a dozen children, approximately 8 to 10 years old, were in and around the bus, but there didn't appear to be any adults present. The children seemed distressed, with some appearing catatonic and some crying and almost hysterical. The locals stopped to see if they could help, but the children would not respond to their questions. Then a black sedan parked nearby, and 4 men got out. They were wearing black suits and hats. They got the children back into the bus and ordered the locals to leave. One of the men drove the bus, and the 2 vehicles left the scene heading toward Camp Hero. The locals reported the incident to the local law enforcement, but nothing ever came of it, and no report exists of the incident. The reason the story of the children is disturbing will become evident in part 4. The more I research the Montauk Project, the weirder it becomes, and frankly, fair warning, it's going to get kind of disgusting. And I'm sorry, but if you research this, you're going to find things that you don't like. No normal person would condone this stuff, but I started the series, so I'm going to do it. But fair warning, I'm going to give another warning at the beginning of that one. Just be aware this can be disturbing. All right. So anyway, if you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you could hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content on all of your social media platforms, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. And check me out over on Rumble for my political commentary and weekly current events. If you enjoy a good book, check out my author page on Amazon.com. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there, including The House Off Farrago Road. It's a fun little story about a house in New Orleans where the monsters all hang out. It's a homicide, whodunit basically, and it's got a homicide. The protagonist is a homicide detective who isn't normal. The owner of the house isn't normal. The denizens of the house are not normal, and the new one that's just moving in because it's a boarding house, she finds out she's not quite normal. So, yeah, there ain't nothing normal about this book, basically about any of my books. So, if you enjoy a good book, check out my author page, H.L. Anderson. There's a bunch of stuff on there. Hope you find something you like, and I hope you enjoy reading it. Hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless. And look for part 4 coming up for the Montauk Mysteries. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all.